The college basketball experience preview and picks episode 4. Sunday, December 11th on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET is what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100. Get a $100 free bet at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience preview and picks episode 4. Good old Sunday, December 11th. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Oh, man. Shout out to the chat rolling along, a late night show here. I was in Wilmington. I was at the Jacksonville UNC Wilmington game, which, I mean, luckily we didn't have a spread on it last night, but I picked it over on the app and I ate shit on this. But I want to give a special shout out from the start to Marshall and Randall, who met up with us, a couple class acts, couple great DJs that were really cool. It was cool to meet up with them, cool to talk shop. So shout out to them as Jacksonville just got absolutely housed by UNC Wilmington. And great win for the Seahawks there. Fun stadium. If you haven't been, get out there. Support some CAA hoops, baby. If you're wondering where Moneyline Mac is, family was in town, so he is relieved of his duties. He said, dude, can I get the night off? And I go, are you sure you just didn't have a terrible night? And who knows? He hasn't answered me. I'm joking, but he's got the night off for the night, guys. It is just your boy Pick Dundee. So, I mean, I'm in a great mood. I got to see live college basketball today. Had a few cocktails. That's always fun. And I had a kick-ass day, folks. Let's get into it. Let's talk about some of the games. I didn't get eyes on all these games, but I just got eyes on Did you guys? I hope you guys just watched the end of Creighton and BYU, because unbelievable ending there. It's amazing BYU got the win the way that they couldn't beat the press. Creighton didn't deserve to win that game. I locked up Creighton, but I think you should give me a pass because I had no idea that Ryan Cockbrenner, a.k.a. Creighton's leading scorer and rebounder, would be out of the game. Kind of important to know that information, but college sports, you don't really find out until the game starts, it seems like. So, my apologies, but I think I was still on the right side of it if Cockbrenner plays. But that was a wild game. That was an absolutely wild game. Let's hop into the other news. Well, from the start, for me, I was having a good day. Penn State. Oh, could have swore I said it's a moneyline play, moneyline opportunity here, as they win 74-59 against the Fighting Illini. I shout out to the Nittany Lions. We were all over this. Last night, so I hope you cashed in. And if you get the SGPN app, folks, you won't only get my picks, you'll get our whole team. Noah Beanick, Moneyline Mac, NC Nick. It's funny, I met some people today, and they were fantastic, but I almost think they didn't realize that NC Nick, Patty C were part of an essential part of the college basketball experience from years past. and they will be on a lot more shows as we continue on. NC Nick locked up Vermont. They were getting 4.5. They were at Colgate. Hope you cashed in too. Boom, getting it done. Shout out to the chat. I see all the classics in there, all the classy. I mean, Track Star, Ryan Hasty, Alex Carter, Jason, Justin, just the whole team there. Noah. But yeah, Vermont's rolling again, and I don't think Vegas is adjusted to the fact that the Catamounts are back playing good basketball, and it's going to be very interesting to watch them and UMass Lowell in the AE when conference play starts. But yeah, that was NC Nick's lock. NC Nick had I think a decent night. I think he was waiting on one game. About the Arkansas Razorbacks, we were watching this one at the bar there in Wilmington. Arkansas storms back. Oklahoma had a lead, I feel like right around halftime. And the Razorbacks and Eric Musselman storm back. Eye for an eye, huh? They say, you beat us in Arkansas, we're going to come to Tulsa and kick the tar out of you, and they did. Shout out to Mario. Shout out to Abdi. The whole crew is rolling. Here. I did lock up Temple, the Owls, who played like shit against the Quakers of Penn. Aaron McKee, you have no excuse for a 20-point loss to Penn, who, I get it, preseason-wise, Penn was projected to be among the tops in the Ivy League. Well, they haven't played like it thus far. In a 20-point loss to an Ivy League school, when you have one of the more talented rosters, I believe, in the AAC, personally, I would give them the rest of this year. But if they don't make the NCAA tournament, I would be firing good old Aaron McKee there in Philadelphia. Shout out to Abdi, who says you hit a 6-team parlay today. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. I'll play the music for you. Let's go. I did get a lot of messages today. A lot of messages on Twitter, Discord, saying, hey, dude, you were on fire today, Pick Dundee. Well, this is the way I feel like a lot of the season should be going. Been a little tough the past couple days, but you got to rock with us. November, we learn. December, we kill. What did Dion say? Some shit like that. I don't know. Anyway, Quinnipiac. I locked up Quinnipiac -8. We're back, baby. Take me to the Aqueduct as they win by 13 against Lafayette. Let's go. We should note that, and I believe Moneyline Mac did lock up Florida State. Florida State annihilated Louisville. Oh, man. Louisville's the worst team. Louisville, Cal. I'm taking Cal. I'm laying 5 with Cal against Louisville. They're terrible. They're just – and Kenny Payne ain't doing any help by stating what he's stating. Wow. Yeah. Yale, Kentucky. Yale got the cover. I ended up taking Kentucky. I didn't bet this game, but caught a little bit of this one at the bar. I know Yale was hanging tough, and they got the cover. And John Calipari, who, believe it or not, we were there today at UNC Wilmington. He went to UNC Wilmington for a couple years, played ball there. So learned that today. I don't think I knew that prior to today. Radford. I'm going to blame Moneyline Mac on this one. I'm going to blame him. He's not here to defend himself. Fuck him, right? I'm joking, but I feel like he sprinkles fairy dust for me to bet Radford. Radford on the road, short of Notre Dame, where they lost by 1. Been a little shaky. Lost to Bill and Mary. Now they lose in Lexington, Virginia to VMI. I did eat shit here. A big, just absolute shit salad there. Georgetown, Syracuse. Okay, this game's always great. I mean, from a rivalry point of view. Georgetown got their ass whooped today. Once again, I mean, what was I doing? I didn't bet this, but I'm saying I took the 8.5 or whatever it was on the picks page. Thought it was reasonable. Thought I was making sense, but no, Georgetown just sucks ass. Detroit, Charlotte. That's one Moneyline Mac I know locked up. He lost on. And this game seemed to be crazy. I didn't get eyes on it because I think I was on at the same time as I was at the game, but Charlotte wins by 2 in overtime. Guess it made sense to take Detroit there. NC Nick locked up the Miami Hurricanes. That thing cashed as they storm back, and that's kind of been their MO this season for Jimmy Laranaga's bunch. They kind of been asleep at the wheel for a lot of the a lot of these games, and they storm back. Same with the Rutgers game, and I think maybe the UCF game. They get the win by 7. They do cover. Shout out to the Hurricanes. So, boom. Yes, the chat saying we need Noah's plays tonight. Yes, let's go. Feel free, Noah, to put them in the chat or I don't know, whatever. Let me know. Dayton rolled UNC Asheville. That was impressive. I was surprised that Drake got destroyed by Richmond the way they did. Glad I didn't bet Drake. I was considering betting Drake in Richmond as Tyler Burton had a big day. I think 17.7 boards. Canisius almost upset Toledo. I felt like that game was interesting. That outcome was interesting. Might be a little bit more concerned about the Rockets as we head into MAC play. And even Northeastern, Holy Cross. Wow, Holy Cross almost got. I feel like Holy Cross might be getting a little bit better there. Wake Forest LSU. I got no eyes on this game, but I know Wake Forest was up big. So they must have had just an absolute gigantic collapse down the stretch as LSU wins by 270. I might be able to throw this one on tomorrow morning to catch up on this one and see what happened there. Purdue beats Nebraska. I was on Nebraska as they, Purdue, I know obviously Mason Gillis out, but still got the dub. Shout out to the Boilermakers. Boiler up as they stay unbeaten and amongst the best in college basketball. I was on Bama plus the points, and boom, did that hit as Bama won on the money line by 6 at Houston. Hey, Alabama says it's a down year for us in football. Watch us dominate basketball this year. Shout out to them. That's a sweep against the Houston Cougars. Yeah, I know Purdue didn't cover, but I had Nebraska. So I'm glad they didn't cover. Xavier, Cincinnati. I didn't get to watch all of this game. Caught a decent chunk of it. I love to watch this game. Probably watch this game over the summer again. Do it every year. Xavier wins by 3. It seemed like Xavier was up by like 20. Cincinnati stormed back to make this somewhat respectable. But the Musketeers, get the dub. Wonder about Wes Miller. 0-2 now in the Skyline Crosstown chili shit off. I don't know. Gotta wonder. You gotta wonder. But let me tell you, folks, by the way, Denver, our boys, your boys, got the cover against UCLA tonight. Your Pioneers, baby. Surprised St. Mary's took down San Diego State the way that they did. I thought that, had that game in the Bay Area, I was all over St. Mary's. But when I learned it was not, I switched my pick to San Diego State. Didn't bet this game, but still surprised by the outcome and the way it happened. And St. Mary's continues to look great. Randy Bennett, absolutely phenomenal as a head coach. Southern Miss put it on Lamar. We were on the right side of that one. But let's get to some of Dundee's locks here because I got to tout. I got to feel good about myself. You guys know I'm a fucking idiot. I like to talk about that. Well, let's go with where are we at here? Where UNLV. Boom! Running Rebels. Getting it done. Undefeated. A little bit of a sweat, but the Running Rebs were kind of in charge of that game, I would say, most of the game. Even though it was a close deficit, I feel like they dictated, they kind of were in charge of the game, if that makes sense. Shout out to the Running Rebels. But yeah, the locks were rolling. Things were feeling good because what else did we hit? San Jose State. Oh, your boy picked Dundee. Not only called for a 9.5-point cover, or a team with the 9.5 points to cover, I do believe I called for Sparty to win on the money line. Boom! You're going to hear a lot of this. It's going to get obnoxious. All right? There we go. Colby finally getting used to being back on the East Coast just in time for him to go back. That's correct. I am flying back out tomorrow. Tomorrow night's show is probably going to be a little bit later, folks, because I will be, I don't know, what do they say, 30,000 feet up in the air for a bit. The locks got really hot right here. San Jose State, boom. Villanova, minus the points against shitty-ass Boston College. Boom! Let's go. We were on fire, baby. We were on fire. Oh, Butler laying 7.5 points in Berkeley. No problem. Dad Mata says, I'm going to come there. All right. Not going to shower for a fucking week. I'll drop acid and I'll whoop your ass. And boom, it happened. It happened. 10,000 feet up. I don't know. All right. I'm on a Cessna. All right. I got to fly low. All right. I got to fly low. Shout out to the Memphis. I didn't bet Memphis, but I was impressed that Memphis took down Auburn the way they did in Atlanta by 9. So shout out to them. Oh, Kansas? The line smelled like Patty C, my good friend, says. Sometimes you got to say, fuck the smell. Boom, Jayhawks dominate. Did I see Eli Drinkowitz in the crowd tonight, the Missouri coach? Or was that Photoshop? Do a Twitter search on that. Boom. On fire was your boy Dundee. On absolute fire. I did eat shit on DePaul, or the DePaul UTEP game. And I don't know what happened here. And I didn't get eyes on this. But, like, UTEP was, like, I feel like up by 4 or 5 down the stretch of the first half. I think they were actually losing at halftime, but it was, like, neck and neck. And boom, in the second half, DePaul just destroyed the Miners. So, ate shit there. Sometimes you got to eat shit. You know what I mean? What else do we have here? How about Southern Utah? Boom! Southern Utah, the Thunderbirds. They did done against Fullerton. Let's ride. Western Kentucky did get Wright State. Wright State covered. I believe Moneyline Mac locked that up, and I thought about locking it, so we can celebrate for old Moneyline Mac. What else do we have here? Go right. We had a lot go right. But, and shout out to Marshall actually didn't cover. Damn, that's a terrible backdoor. I think NC Nick and Moneyline Mac are on Marshall. Robert Morris somehow covered that. I feel like most of that game, Marshall was up 13, 14 points. Robert Morris loses by 9, so they cover. Whew, brutal. How about Loyola Chicago showing up tonight? I did not see that coming. I've watched them a few times this year. Kind of thought this team was absolute dog shit. So, wow, shout out to them. And then Arizona, I know Moneyline Mac locked it up, but I picked it. Wildcats in Vegas, not a problem. Win by 14 against Indiana. How about the Boise State Broncos? Mountain West continue to look good. And as NC Nick tells me today, and I agree with his statement, he's like, Travis Ford, overrated. He can bring in talent, but he can't. He should be better. And I think he's right. St. Louis should be better. When you look at that roster, they should be a better team. And for some reason, they continue to trip and fall on teams that they should beat. Boise's good, but this game was in St. Louis. They should have won this game. No excuses. IPFW, 7.5 point dogs. Do believe I said wrong team favorite. IPFW on the money line. Boom! Fucking. Today's one of those days you wake up, the birds are chirping. You know what I mean? You just hear it. UC Santa Barbara wins against Pepperdine. No, I think Moneyline Mac locked that up. He ate a shit sandwich there. What else do we have here? How about this score? We didn't bet this game, but I find this game hilarious. Old Dominion 44. Gardner Webb 43. Gardner Webb covers for me. I got it right, but holy shit. I mean, look at this. I got to just pull up. So, Gardner Webb shot 28% from the field. Meanwhile, ODU shot 26% from the field, but ODU wins. Magical. From the 3-point line. Get this straight. Gardner Webb was 2 of 20 from 3. Oh, well, 10%. That's not good. Meanwhile, Old Dominion was 5 of 20. They went 7 of 40 from the 3-point line. Basketball's back, baby. Oh, man. What a ridiculous game. ODU shot 41% from the free throw line, and they won. This is unbelievable. I need to make sure I hope someone puts this up on YouTube. I want to watch this game. How did I not watch this game? St. Thomas. 1.5 point dog. Take it on the money line. Boom! I locked that thing up. Cash is flying. Song is rolling. You're probably thinking I'm a huge idiot, and I'll own that. But I'm a huge idiot with money in his pocket today, baby. Let's go. Next up, we have Cal Baptist. By the way, I was on Cal Baptist in San Diego against our boy Steve Lavin. Unfortunately, TCU did not cover. I know Moneyline Mac, I think, might have locked this one. Only won by 8 in the Iron Skillet Classic on the hardwood. Creighton BYU, as I alluded to earlier, that game was fucking hilarious. I lost money on this one, but I didn't know Kalkbrenner was going to be out, and that's kind of that's like betting on Utah when Cameron Rising is out. If you know college football, hilarious game down the stretch. If you did not catch this one, if you're listening to it, maybe you're making breakfast, maybe you're like me, you have YouTube TV, so it pretty much records all of the basketball games. Well, I'd say if you're listening to this in the morning, you're making your eggs, you're baking, all that shit. I say you throw on that Creighton BYU game, just the final 10 minutes, and sit back and enjoy the fucking show because it's absolutely hilarious. Next up, Northern Colorado. Oh, well, I locked up Northern Colorado -1. Boom, they win by 7 in the Valley. Not a problem. Let's go. Let's go. All right. I'm not going to tout anymore. Just had a great night. Feeling good about myself. Game balls. Moneyline Mac's not here, but I will do 6 of them. Ready? We start off. I got to go with BYU. I got to go with BYU here. They needed this. They needed this bad. This win might look great if they somehow can find the WCC's up this year. Me and NC Dick were talking about that tonight, driving back and just saying, man, is Pacific the worst team in the WCC? Because they're not terrible. Is BYU the second worst team in the WCC? At the moment, they actually are from a record standpoint. I think BYU, could get hot. They obviously had some issues protecting that lead tonight, but they've already beat Dayton. I know Dayton's not looking great, but they had the win against Creighton. Maybe they can build on that. I know they got Utah coming, I think, next Saturday in the Holy War. Shout out to the WCC. Once again, some good wins. Zags beat Kentucky and Michigan State and Washington. There's some other good wins. St. Mary's taking down San Diego State. Loyola Marymount taking down Wake Forest and Georgetown, which we thought was a decent win at the time, I guess. But the WCC is playing good ball this year, man. It's up. And BYU, hey, they needed it. So game ball 1 goes to the Cougars of BYU. Game ball 2, I think we go to Boise State. The Mountain West is looking good, and Boise State. I think I might have saw Rothstein tweet this or someone tweet this about the caliber of wins they have. They went to College Station, beat down Texas A&M by 15. They beat St. Louis today at St. Louis. They beat the Colorado Buffaloes earlier in the year. They beat the Loyola Chicago Ramblers, and that win starts to look a little bit better. Charlotte's not a bad team. They beat Washington State. Oh no, they lost to Charlotte. They beat Washington State too, though, but they're doing all right. Shout out to the Boise State Broncos. Arizona will be my third game ball, and I think it's got to be the third game. Or this is no particular order. If I say the first game ball, it doesn't mean it's more significant than the second or third. But Arizona definitely deserves a game ball because they look great today. From what I could see, didn't see much of it, but they win by 14 in Vegas against a really good opponent. So I think that will travel well. Fourth game ball, got to go with Xavier. Anytime you win the Crosstown Skyline Chili Fest, yeah, you got to get a game ball. In those matchups, you just got to get a game ball. So we will give them the 4th game ball. 5th, what should we do here? How about good old Memphis? The Memphis Tigers and Penny Hardaway. They get a great win tonight as they take down Auburn in Atlanta by 9. Shout out to them. And my 6th one will be, what should we go with here? I mean, you can go several different routes here, but I think the one that probably stands out the most to me, I'm going to give it to Alabama. It's got to be Alabama. Probably if I was to go in a pecking order, it might be the number 1 best win today. Shout out to the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide, and shout out to them as they sweep the series, the home and home with the Crimson Tide. Are we ready to pick games today for Sunday, December 11th? Jesus, I can't remember days. Let's get into it. Where's I need some music, all right? I need some music. Sunday, December 11th. We got some good ones. Let's go. Well, I mean, there's a Loyola Marymount game and Utah State game that's happening right now. I know people were having a hard time locating it. I don't know why it's not on a better network, but it is what it is. And should be a good one as Kelly Lelepepe is about to have another 30-10 game, I'm sure. But let's hop into the early morning slate. First game here on the East. Still on the East Coast here. St. Bonaventure taking on the Iona Gaels. It's a good game. It's a good game to start the Sunday off. Iona's laying 6 against the Bonnies. Bonnie's been playing better ball. I know Mark Schmidt's saying he's got a young team, but they're good. I remember watching an interview of him this offseason, probably in like October, saying we're better than where we're projected. People don't know that. We're better than where we're projected. Now I'm starting to buy in. But I also think Rick Pitino, perhaps Iona, is better than we projected. I'm going to lay the 6 with the Gaels against the Bonnies. Second game. Wow. Disrespect is real. Tarleton State's getting 7.5. Let me double check and make sure this is actually in Orlando. All these damn tournaments. Yeah, it is. This is in Orlando. Take it on UCF. Billy Gillespie's bunch. They're getting 7.5 points. Huh. Well, gotta stay confident. Tarleton State's my squad. Give me Tarleton State. Lock it up. Plus 7.5. Sprinkle some on the money line. Plus, what is it, 280? Let's go. Central Connecticut State's heading into Fordham. I'll be honest. I thought, the other night I said we should lock up Fordham. We didn't. They covered. I think Central Connecticut State just got their first win, as Moneyline Matt called. However, 13.5 points. I'm going to lay it with Fordham. I don't know that I'm going to bet this one, but I've been thinking about it. Get the SGPN app. It's free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store, and you'll have access to all of our picks. It's free. Everything's free. We're not one of these hacks saying, "Oh, take my three game special for $100." Just get, Yeah. Let me tell you something. If he or she really had a 3-game special or a 5-game special or knew what the fuck they were talking about, they'd be rich and they wouldn't be asking you to hit them up for picks like old Vegas Dave there. All those people are full of shit. Fordham minus 13.5. Let's go. Maine, the Black Bears, the cocaine Black Bears. Let's go. They're heading into Merrimack. Warriors come out and play. They're not going to come out and play, though, because they suck ass. This is at Hamel Court in North Andover. Okay. 2.5 points. I got no problem. Let's go, Cocaine Bears. Let's go. Do that line. Do that line, baby. Lay those points. Eastern Michigan. Oh, man. Here we go again. Heading to Niagara Falls. Hey, let me just go ahead and say, Eastern Michigan, if you do not win this game or cover this game, I would like you to do us a favor and just jump in the fucking Niagara Falls. Jump off that thing. Jump off that thing. In, off. Because you guys have been the biggest disappointment. You're Milwaukee, the Panthers from a year ago, 2.0. But yet, I'm still taking the 6.5 points with Eastern Michigan. Give me the Eagles plus the points. I'm not locking it. I'm not betting those fucking guys anymore. All right? Coppin State. Coppin State. Larry Stewart's alma mater. Does anyone here remember Larry Stewart, former Washington Bullet and Seattle Supersonic? He went to Coppin State. Back in the good old days of Coppin State. This game's in Greenville. They're taking on ECU. ECU's laying 8.5. I believe in the Pirates in the spirit of ECU to win the game. However, give me the 8.5 points in Coppin State. ECU, I don't know. Let's go. ECU 68, Coppin State 64. Give me that cover for the Pirates. Not the cover. Give me that win. The cover will be for Coppin State. It's a pretty scary game though. Juan Dixon, I feel like that team's off and on, but when they're on, they can give you trouble. Ohio, this game's pretty damn good. Ohio's heading to Youngstown, Ohio. Ron Jaworski's alma mater. Take on the Penguins. Youngstown's laying 6. Let me do a quick check on the injuries here. Okay. We have a game time decision on Azuma. You know, hate to do this to you folks, but let's lock up the Bobcats. +6. Ride that money line. It's a game. It's going to be a game. +210. Let's go. I know Youngstown's good, and they've been a darling of ours, but still. Come on. +210. Let's go. Siena heads to Delaware. Siena's getting 3.5 points. I thought about locking this one. Really thought about locking this one. Might bet this one by tomorrow morning. Get the SGPN app if you're curious what I'm doing in this game. Give me Siena +3.5, though, on the road, and sprinkle some of that +144 on the money line. Let's go. Let's go. Oklahoma State is taking on Virginia Tech. I believe this game's in like New York City or something at the Barclays Center, perhaps. Yes, in Brooklyn. You know, we took Dayton the other night thinking Virginia Tech would have a down night. That did not happen. The Hokies looked fantastic. They beat the shit out of Dayton. Oklahoma State and Mike Boynton, I think, are better than what we realize. I'm going to take Oklahoma State +1.5. What is it? +105 on the money line to beat the Hokies there. Big 12 shows up. That's money line Max says. East Tennessee State. Take it on Morehead State on the road there in wherever. Where's Morehead again? Kentucky, somewhere in Kentucky. East Tennessee State's catching 2. I'll take ETSU +2. Sprinkle some of that money line as well. Bryant is heading into Manhattan to take on the Jaspers. Still miss Peter Kiss, the Ric Flair of basketball. We need him back. I'll lay the 7.5 with Bryant. I don't feel great about it, though. I'll lay the 7.5, though. Jackson State is catching 14 on the road against Akron. Akron's pretty good. Jackson State, a little chippy. I feel like these MAC schools, when they're big-time favorites, they kind of lay up a little bit. Give me the points in Jackson State. 14 points there. I'll take it. Prairie View A&M is getting 17.5 points in Evanston, taking on Northwestern. I'll take the 17.5 all day. Northwestern wins, but I think this wouldn't shock me if there's like a 6-7 point game down the stretch. Northwestern's got to prove it to me more. I know they look good so far, but Fairleigh Dickinson is laying 4 at home against the Highlanders. Talks like this, Sean Connery. I'm laying the 4 with Fairleigh Dickinson. Laying the 4. Let's go. Lay the 4 with the Knights. I don't love it, though. Incarnate Word's in Manhattan taking on K-State. Incarnate Word's fucking terrible. Their football team's good, though. Did you guys catch that crazy FCS game the other night? Sacramento State, Incarnate Word. Incarnate Word's 5-5, but they just lost to Grambling by 33 points. That's enough to tell me to take Kansas State minus 27. Let's go. I know Grambling's good, though. But give me K-State minus the points. Chicago State. Take it on UT Martin, the Skyhawks. Chicago State's getting 7. They're plus 241 on the money line. Dare I say we ride with our Cougars? I think we do. Give me Chicago State plus 7. Sprinkle some on the money line. Lipscomb. Man, Lipscomb. They dealt me a shit sandwich the other night against Alabama A&M. Do they bounce back against a 5-4 Tennessee State team at the Gentry Complex in Nashville? Tennessee State won this matchup by 8 a season ago. Tennessee State just beat Boyce by 54 points. Does anyone ever remember Donnie Boyce? Shooting guard, played for Colorado. That guy was a beast. Looking at Tennessee State's resume, they're not very good, but they did beat Alabama A&M. I will take Lipscomb to bounce back. I'm locking it up. Going back to that well. Bounce back spot. I know they look terrible. Let's go. I know Trackstar saying East Carolina's coming off a bad loss. Lock them up. I think they'll win. I just think I've been impressed. Well, Coppin State's weird. Certain games with Coppin State have been impressed. Certain games I have not. But I think ECU is a strange team. ECU, for a lot of these games, have given up gigantic leads early on. And if you do that and we're getting 8.5 points, I don't know that they can cover that. So that's why, I love my Pirates, but Blue Edwards ain't walking through that door. New Mexico State, their coach cracking me up. I was scared for the safety of our players. That's why we had the assistant coach with a gun. We had the murder weapon in the hotel room. Yeah, it's a fucking game of Clue over here, right? He had the revolver in the DoubleTree underneath the towel. Man, Mexico State, they do travel though, man. Where'd they just play? Didn't they play in San Francisco? Now they're going to Pittsburgh. Wait, is this in Pittsburgh or is this one of these games? No, it's in Pittsburgh. Cooper Fieldhouse. That's a lot of travel. But I have a philosophy. Teams that normally get in trouble with the law, I bet on them because that tells me they're doing something right. Give me the Aggies plus 5. Sprinkle some on the money line against the Dukes. That should be a game, though. Bowling Green's heading to Southern Virginia to take on Hampton. It's a tough game. It's a tough game to call. I think Hampton's better than their record. Their talent level is better than their record, but I just haven't seen it really develop on the hardwood. Meanwhile, Bowling Green's kind of been a disappointment the past 5 years. Ever since what? Turner? Turner was a beast there. But still, even with them, even with like Turner and that team that was projected a couple years ago to finish first in the MAC, they kind of sucked. They were decent, but I think they show up here. I'm laying the 2.5 with the Falcons. Navy is taking on Towson. Navy's catching 9. Thought about locking Navy here. The only thing is Towson should have beat Clemson. They let them off the hook. They really let them off the hook. Stay tuned. Right now, give me Navy +9. Get that app. I might be betting that one tomorrow morning. Indiana State is taking on our Screaming Eagles of Southern Indiana. Whoa. We got a little Indiana battle going on here. Indiana State's laying 6. I know it's a letdown spot. For the Sycamores, but I don't think Southern Indiana's ready. I think Indiana State is legit. I'm laying the 6 with the Sycamores. Let's go. Marquette, Shaka Smart heading into South Bend. Take on Mike Brey and the Irish. I'm your leprechaun. This one's tough. Notre Dame's always really good at home, I feel like. They're always better at home than you think. And when you watch them, you say, hey, this team's barely got anyone that's athletic. Normally like 2 players that are athletic. The rest, bunch of lawn chairs. However, Brey has magic there. Give me the Irish +2. Ride that +112 on the money line. Tennessee is taking on Maryland. Tennessee -6, I'm seeing. Do see a 5.5 out there, too. This one, I believe, is at the Barclays Center, too. Both teams are 8-1. Yep, this is at the Barclays Center. Give me Tennessee and Rick Barnes. They're really hot right now. I don't know that I can trust Maryland. It's the regular season. I can trust Rick Barnes to be really good before the postseason where he folds up like another one of those lawn chairs. Yeah, I'll lay the 6 with the Vols. That one, I might bet that one. I'll be honest. I might bet that one because I think Tennessee's playing at a higher level than Maryland right now. But Maryland's a little bit better than what I thought they would be. So, UC Riverside, they're heading into Moscow, Idaho. Bit surprised at this line, too. Just want to double check. The Vandals are 4-5. They just beat North Dakota by 10, but North Dakota's not really any good. They did beat Northern Illinois by like almost 40 points. I think it was 37 points. They beat Pacific by 3. The only thing I'll say here is this schedule sucks ass. So it's a deceiving record that they have here. When the best team you've played is Pacific, who you did beat, I can't trust it. I'm locking up the real Highlanders of UC Riverside. Let's go. Bring your meth in this one. Oregon State heading down. Wait, I'm going to just double check and make sure this is actually in College Station. Yes, Oregon State's heading down to the Reed Arena. I was just there a couple weeks ago. Beavs are catching 12.5. Oh, man. I mean, Texas A&M's been a disappointment all year. Oregon State is like the most inconsistent team in college basketball in the Power 6, probably. It's hard to get a read on them. But I'll take the 12.5 points because I don't think Buzz Williams should really be laying any double-digit points against really every team other than Louisville and Cal. So give me the Beavs plus 12.5. McNeese, fresh off that win, is a 16.5-point dog. Travel to Ames, take on the Cyclones. Iowa State's laying 27. And I say lay the 27 because I don't think McNeese can duplicate that success. Presbyterian, the Blue Hose, they're traveling to Columbia, South Carolina. South Carolina's laying 9.5. This one's tough. Give me the Blue Hose plus the points. I don't know. That game, that's one of the games I like least. This game's pretty fun here. Seton Hall heading to the rack to take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Seton Hall's catching 8.5 points. I get it, Rutgers. You got robbed the other night. You did. You're good. I know you're just fire at home at the rack, but 8.5 is a bit too much. Give me Shaheen Holloway and the Pirates from one Pirate to another. Wisconsin's at Iowa. This game's awesome. It's an awesome game. This is good. Iowa, I would imagine Chris Murray, he was in a boot. I'm assuming he's not playing this one. It's a great spot for Wisconsin to catch Iowa after the Cyhawk game where they whooped Iowa State's ass. I think they come back down to life a little bit. Give me the Badgers plus 4.5. Sprinkle some on the money line plus 165. That one I might bet too. Howard is catching 16 points at VCU. Can VCU can't score, right? I mean, what did VCU do lately? They lost to Jacksonville, right? I don't think Howard's that bad. I think we should take Howard. I think we might want to lock this one. On a night where we don't have too many locks, give me the Bison plus the points. Let's go. UMass, Frank Martin trying to bounce back after UMass Lowell put it on them. Heads to Jersey to take on the Hofstra Pride and Speedy Claxton. This game's tough. Because what? Aaron Estrada, who's their leading scorer, missed the last game. Noah Fernandez did as well. Give me UMass. I think they bounce back. I don't like that game, though. Mississippi State is laying 8 against the Gophers in Minneapolis. Chris Jans, their team. Any Chris Jans team is going to play great defense. Remember, he was an assistant at Wichita when they had that Final Four run. I love the way their teams play defense. I'm laying the 8. I'm a little nervous because Mississippi State kind of likes the rock fights. 8's a big number, but Minnesota's just pretty trash. I'm going to lay the 8. I don't feel great about it. And final game of the night, St. Francis, the Red Flash, travel to Hawaii. Oh, man. I mean, look, I get it. St. Francis sucks ass. I mean, they got destroyed by a lot of teams, but this is a gigantic number. I think we should consider locking this one. This is a late game. See how your winnings are going throughout the day. If you got some extra money, I think you take the Red Flash plus the 17. Hawaii's been a pretty good team this year. They're 5-3. But we really don't know how good they are because Mississippi Valley State's arguably the worst team in D1. You can make a case for that. Well, they played them. They won by 18. Okay. Then Hawaii did beat Eastern Washington by 20. That's somewhat of an okay win. But then they lost to Yale by 3. But Yale's good, so that's a good loss. But then after that, they played Hawaii Pacific, Sacramento State. Okay, that's a decent win. Texas State. All right, decent win. But then they lost to Texas A&M Commerce, who's brand new to D1 basketball. Let's just do it. I know it's a far trip. I just don't think they should be 17-point favorites. Have they beaten, besides Mississippi Valley State, okay, Eastern Washington, besides the first 2 days of college basketball for Hawaii, they haven't beaten anybody by that amount of points in D1. Give me St. Francis plus 17. Let's lock it up. Let's go. All right. Now, to recap, that's the slate, by the way. I think I got all the games, unless they haven't added. They might have missed a few that they haven't put out yet, but I think that was all of them. Yeah, I don't think they put out Indiana State and Southern. No, they did. They did. I locked that, actually. What did they put out? They didn't put out. I feel like they got most of them. They got most of them out there. My locks. Well, I just went there. Red Flash, St. Francis plus 17 at Hawaii. Lock it up. Howard plus 16 at VCU. Lock it up. Seton Hall plus 8.5 at the rack. Lock it up. UC Riverside minus 5.5 in Moscow. Lock it up. Indiana State -6 at Southern Indiana. Lock it up. I got a couple other fringe locks that are probably going to bet tomorrow morning. I'll be honest. Get that app. What else are we locking up? Well, we got more locks. We got more locks here. I am locking up the Ohio Bobcats +6 at Youngstown. Sprinkle. And by the way, sprinkle some of these on the money line. Basically, all the ones I mentioned. I'm also locking up the Maine Black Bears -2.5 at Merrimack. And Tarleton State +7.5 on the road in Orlando. Lock it up. Ride that money line. All right, folks. Will Mac post his picks for tomorrow, says the chat? Yeah, he should. I think so. I will double check with him, but I believe he will. We kind of do it. NC Nick, Noah, we'll all have our picks. Patty C, the whole crew will be there picking winners. Hop on over there, get the SGPN app, folks. Appreciate y'all. Really do. It was cool today to meet up with some fans once again. Special shout out to Marshall and Randall. Those guys were great, and shout out to all the listeners. You guys have been really awesome with us this year. So let's continue on this journey. Let's have another good night. Subscribe to the college basketball experience. Subscribe to the college football experience and the college baseball experience. Where we come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Check out all of Moneyline Mac's work. He's the host of the NFL Gambling Podcast. He's the host of the Ryan and Rush Show. Go check out those. Just because he's not here, I know we like to rag on him a little bit. Probably had a bad night and said, you know what, I don't know if I can handle this. Well, we can give him shit. Give him a tweet. I'm joking. I think he had a decent night. I'm not sure. I haven't checked his numbers, but either way. Appreciate you guys. And check out all of his work. Check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. Get that SGPN app, folks. And come talk college hoops with us in the Discord. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. And please, shout out to the people that give us a 5-star review on iTunes. That really means a lot. Appreciate you. And if you haven't, folks, please, if you can, get over there. It helps us more than you realize. It really does. I know you think, oh, this guy's just trying to milk us for a review. No. It really does help us more than you realize. So please, if you can, hop on over there and do that. And till tomorrow, folks. Tomorrow's episode, once again, will be super, super late because I will not be back to Los Angeles for a bit. So traveling during that time. So yeah. Anyway, folks, have a thanks to the whole chat. Shout out to everyone: Trackstar, Jason, Ryan, Iveta. Let's go. Appreciate you guys. Take care. This is the college basketball experience for Sunday, December 11th. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Yeah, it's got me thinking about the good shit. The minute that I seen your grill again, it made me good trip. Good dog the mind back like dog will wind that. Man, I didn't get mad when you near me hit the can back, but the comings on was strong. Now my shit's coming along, you know the song. The truth is I'm pretty much on 5 again. It's heating up for real, I'm alive again. And that's the attraction factor. Vancouver, Michigan with my rap disaster. Yeah, you know you want it how you want it. No need to trip, cause I got it, doggone it. It's all yours and the extras too. All the super music and the sex for whom? Just get it straight, cause he caught me in a good mood. Let me demonstrate what this time of year could do. Sing it.